Namaskar and good morning to all of you. Respected Sri Biswabhusan Harichandan ji, Honorable Governor of Andhra Pradesh, Srimati Rampilla Narsayam Garu, eminent freedom fighter, Sri Mandali Prasad Garu, former Deputy Speaker of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, Sri K. Shivareddy Garu, eminent Telugu poet and also the convener of Sahitya Akademi's Telugu Advisory Board. And we have with us the eminent speakers from other languages, Sri Vijayawada Singh ji, eminent Odia scholar, and also the convener of Sahitya Akademi's Odia Advisory Board, Sri Chandan Kumar Sharma ji, representing Assamese language, Sri Madhukar Upadhyay ji, representing Hindi language, Dr. R.A. Padmanabha Rao Garu, Telugu, Sri Arindam Ghosh, representing Bengali, Sri Samir Bhattji, representing Gujarati language, and Bhuma Veeravalli ji, representing Tamil language, distinguished writers, scholars, the students of the Siddhartha Academy, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to welcome all of you for this day-long symposium on Tiranga, the unifier literary portrayals of national flag in Indian languages. Today, we have in our midst two great personalities who have witnessed India's independence movement and who participated in that. Srimati Rampilla Narsayam Garu, Iron Woman, who took the British head on and inspired so many people, and Sri Biswabhusan Harichandan sir, erudite scholar, writer, and also the governor of Andhra Pradesh, and much more. Sir, thank you very much for accepting our invitation at such a short notice and participating in this program despite your hectic schedule. Sir, you are prioritizing participation in this program, your love for literature and bhakti towards national flag. It is our pleasure and privilege to host you today, and we are grateful for your participation. Friends, flags of kingdoms, religious and cultural bodies, nations, governments, other organizations all over the world are perceived as representing the motto of those organizations or nations. So, flags are perceived as markers, identifiers, and symbols across civilizations. It is remarkable that from tribal communities to nation states, flags have become integral part of them. It is not often do we get to see a particular material motif, symbol, allegory becomes universal and accepted across civilizations, and there is hardly any physical identifier that is predominantly universal barring some religious motifs. Tiranga, our Indian tricolor flag, has galvanized masses even from the times before independence and continues to instill the fervor of patriotism among people and inspire millions of Indians till this day. In all the Indian languages and in tribal and oral traditions of India too, the impact of Indian national flag can be seen. Tiranga has been captured and represented in these literatures in various ways. In poems, songs, plays, and other literary creations in books, dailies, and journals and magazines of India, and in all the languages, the glory of Tiranga has been represented. These literary creations, especially the poems, in turn captured the imagination of many youth across generations and inspired them to reach for higher goals and serving the country. Incidentally, these literary creations also inspired representation of the national flag and the glory of the flag in movies too. What is even more impressive in the emergence of patriotic songs and performances, especially related to national flag in the rural areas of the country, where literature and literary expressions were predominantly oral in nature. These literary expressions, written and oral, provided the vast corpus to the writers, poets, playwrights, and critics in the first created by the impact of Tiranga and such unison was also reflected and portrayed in Indian literature like never before. India is a multilingual country, and translation from one language and region to other languages and regions also spread the inspiration from community to all over the country. These literary effects are not often depicted and understood. We are happy to organize this symposium under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and we are very happy to have this program coinciding with the 146th birth anniversary of Pingali Venkayya, the designer of the national flag, who belongs to this very particular district, and he spent his last part of his life in this very particular city, Vijayawada, from 1948 to till his last breath on 4th July 1963. I sincerely hope coming generations will keep up the legacy of Tiranga. That is the reason why we have invited more young people to be here today. We can see a lot of students because they will continue this legacy. That was the reason why we insisted particularly college students to be here with this view first. I am glad to welcome all of you once again. Thank you so much.
Honorable Biswabhusan Harichandan, Governor of Andhra Pradesh, and Sri Sahitya Akademi Secretary, and Mandali Buddha Prasad, and Ram Pilla Narsamma, a freedom fighter, and the August gathering who gathered here. Namaste, మీ అందరికీ నమస్కారాలు. The flag we are celebrating a kind of festival which is new to us. We never had this type of meeting, this type of celebration of national flag. Flag is not a piece of cloth which symbolizes our pride, our honor, our fortune, and everything. It is a symbol of our heart. I read out few lines from two poems. One is by an American poet and the other is an Indian poet. You will come to know what kind of symbol the flag is. We never knew this poem, few lines I am reading, not the whole poem. Edgar Albert Est. We never knew the flag could be so much a part of human life. That is the condition. It has become. It imbibed our pride, We thought it beautiful to see before these bitter days of strife. But now, more beautiful it gleams, and deeper in our heart it dwells, and it is emblem of our dreams. That's very important. It's an emblem of our.
ఈరోజు ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి ముఖ్య అతిథిగా ఇచ్చేసి ఈ సదస్సును ప్రారంభించడానికి ఇచ్చేసిన ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ గవర్నర్ పెద్దలు పూజ్యులు శ్రీ విశ్వభూషణ్ హరిచందన్ గారు, కేంద్ర సాహిత్య అకాడమీ తెలుగు సలహా సంఘం సమన్వయకర్త, తెలుగు జాతి గర్వించదగ్గ మహోన్నత కవి, తెలుగు సాహిత్యాన్ని సుసంపన్నం చేసిన కవి కె శివారెడ్డి గారు, స్వాతంత్ర సమరయోధురాలు శ్రీమతి రాంపిల్ల నరసమ్మ గారు, కేంద్ర సాహిత్య అకాడమీ కార్యదర్శి శ్రీ కృత్తివంటి శ్రీనివాసరావు గారు, ఈరోజు ఈ సదస్సులో పాల్గొనడానికి దేశంలో వివిధ భాషల నుంచి ఇచ్చేసిన సాహితీవేత్తలకు, ప్రత్యేకించి సిద్ధార్థ కళాశాల విద్యార్థులకు, పాత్రికేయులకు అందరికి కూడా నా హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారాలు. ఈరోజు జాతీయ పతాక నిర్మాత శ్రీ పింగళి వెంకయ్య గారి జయంతి. ఈ మహత్తర దినాన కేంద్ర సాహిత్య అకాడమీ భారతీయ భాషా సాహిత్యాల్లో త్రివర్ణ పతాక రూపకల్పన అనే ఒక జాతీయ సదస్సుని ఏర్పాటు చేయటం నిజంగా మనందరికి కూడా గర్వదాయకమైన విషయం. జాతీయ జెండా జాతి వ్యక్తిత్వాన్ని ప్రదర్శిస్తుంది. ప్రతి జాతికి ఒక చరిత్ర ఉంటుంది. చరిత్రలో ఆ జాతీయ పతాకానికి ఒక ప్రత్యేక స్థానం ఉంటుంది. దేశీయులలో దేశభక్తికి, జాతీయ భావోద్వేగనకు జాతీయ పతాకం జవాన్ని ఇస్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఇంతవరకు కూడా జాతీయ గీతాలను జనగణం రాసింది రవీంద్రనాథ్ ఠాగూర్ గారు, వందే మాత్రం రాసింది బంకించంద్ర చటర్జీ గారిని అందరికీ తెలుసు. కానీ ఆ జాతీయ పతాకాన్ని నిర్మాణం చేసిన పింగళి వెంకయ్య గారి పేరు దేశ ప్రజలు ఎవరికి తెలియదు. కానీ ఈ అమృత మహోత్సవ సందర్భంలో ప్రధానమంత్రి నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారు స్వయంగా జాతీయ పతాక నిర్మాత పింగళి వెంకయ్యని ప్రకటించడం కాకుండా ఈ రోజు ఢిల్లీలో పెద్ద కార్యక్రమం ఏర్పాటు చేయటం, పింగళి కుటుంబ సభ్యులను పిలిచి సత్కరించే కార్యక్రమం చేయటం నిజంగా చాలా సంతోషకర విషయం. 70 సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత దేశ ప్రజలందరూ కూడా పింగళి వెంకయ్య గారి పేరు వేసిన జాతీయ పతాక రూపకర్తగా నిజంగా మనందరూ కూడా గర్వించదగ్గ విషయం చెప్పి మాత్రం మనం చూస్తూ, అలాగే ఈ రోజు ఈ సదస్సుని మన గవర్నర్ గారు విశ్వభూషణ్ హరిచందన్ గారు వారు ప్రారంభించడంతో దీనికి ఒక ఇది కలిగింది. ఎందుకంటే గౌరవం కలిగింది. ఎందుకంటే ఆయన స్వాతంత్ర సమరయోధుల కుటుంబం నుంచి వచ్చినవారు. అంతేకాదు ఒరిస్సాలోని స్వాతంత్ర సమరయోధుల జీవిత చరిత్రను నాటకాలుగా రచించి వారికి వెలుగునిచ్చినవారు. ఎందుకంటే స్వాతంత్ర సమరంలో ఉన్న యోధులు ఉన్నారు అక్కడ. ఆ యోధులందరూ కనుమరుగైన పరిస్థితిలో వాళ్ళ యొక్క చరిత్రను బయటకు తీసి నాటకాల రూపంలో ఇవాళ అందించిన గొప్ప వ్యక్తి మన విశ్వభూషణ్ హరిచందన్ గారు. అది కేవలం గవర్నర్ కాకుండా గొప్ప రచయిత, కళింగరత్న బిరుదాంకితులు. వారి రోజున సాహిత్యకారుడు ప్రత్యేకించి అందులో సాహిత్యం అంతా కూడా ఈ దేశభక్తి పూరితమైన సాహిత్యం రచించిన వారు. వారి రోజున ఈ సదస్సును ప్రారంభించడం అంటే ఇది నిజంగా మనందరం చేసుకున్న అదృష్టం. నిజంగా దీనికి ఒక సముచితమైన గౌరవం వారు లభింపు చేసినందుకు వారికి నేను ప్రత్యేకించి ధన్యవాదాలు తీసుకుంటూ, ప్రత్యేకించి కేంద్ర సాహిత్య అకాడమీకి మరోసారి నాకు అవకాశం కల్పించినందుకు హృదయపూర్వకంగా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుకుంటూ సెలవు తీసుకున్నాను.
Request the Honorable Andhra Pradesh Governor Sri Biswabhusan Harichandanji to address this August gathering. Sri Biswabhusan Harichandan is the Honorable Governor of Andhra Pradesh. He is a writer, playwright, freedom fighter, lawyer and politician. His literary contributions are Mahasangama Mahanayak, a drama on Bakshi Jagabandhu, the supreme commander of Pike Revolution of 1870, 6-1 plays Marubhadash, Rana Pratap, Shesh Jalak on Maharani Padmini of Madhu, Astra Sikha on Tapang Balbera's heroic war and sacrifice, Manasi and Adhisatta Karna. Swatha Sasana Gahana Katha, an anthology of his 26 short stories. Emati Tak, a compilation of some of his selected published articles, and Sangram Sari Nahi, his autobiography which has focused on his struggles in political, administrative, social, cultural and other fields during his long public life. Sri Harichandan is also a reputed columnist who has written several articles on contemporary political issues, historical, social and cultural matters which have been published in all leading newspapers of Odisha and some English weeklies of Delhi. Sir, now I request the Honorable Andhra Pradesh Governor Sri Biswabhusan Harichandanji to address this August gathering. Please, sir.
Sri M. Buddha Prasad, former Deputy Speaker, Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, Srimati R. Narayan, eminent freedom fighter, Sri Shiva Reddy, eminent Telugu writer and convener, Telugu Advisory Board, Sahitya Akademi, Dr. K. Srinivas Rao, Secretary, Sahitya Akademi, distinguished guests, members of the print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen, my warm greetings to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in the symposium on Tiranga, the unifier-Literary portrayals of national flag in Indian languages, organized by Sahitya Akademi, commemorating the 146th birth anniversary of Sri Pingali Venkayya, the designer of Indian national flag, well-known Gandhian, educationist and agriculturist hailing from Andhra Pradesh. Sri Pingali Venkayya, a great freedom fighter, and the national flag designed by him was a gift for our country that became synonymous with the spirit of free and independent India. The national flag that we see today was based upon his design. Sri Venkayya was born on August 2, 1876 in Bhati Pilmamaru village in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. He met Mahatma Gandhiji in South Africa during the Second Boer War during 1899 to 1902, when he was posted there as a part of the British Indian Army. A firm believer of Gandhian principles and an ardent nationalist, his association with Gandhiji lasted for more than 50 years. There was an incident when the soldiers had to salute Union Jack, the British national flag that remained etched in his memory. Sri Venkayya was educated at Cambridge and grew up to become a polymath, a person of wide knowledge and interest in geology, agriculture, education, and even in different languages. After returning to India, Sri Venkayya dedicated himself to the creation of a national flag for the country. In 1916, he published a booklet on flags of other nations and advocated the need for a national flag for India and suggested nearly 30 different designs for the national flag. Throughout all conversations between 1918 to 1921, he relentlessly pursued the idea of having a national flag for India. In March 1921, Mahatma Gandhi first proposed the need for a national flag at a meeting at the Indian National Congress in Vijayawada, then known as Vijayawada. Sri Venkayya met Gandhiji at the Victoria Museum and presented a rudimentary design of the Swaraj flag on a khadi bunting. The initial design consisted of two red and green bands to symbolize Hindus and Muslims respectively. The two major religious communities and the Charkha representing Swaraj. His design had given an identity to India and its people. On the advice of Gandhiji, Sri Venkayya added a white band over the red and green. The white represented peace and the rest of the communities living in India. Gandhiji's approval and made the Swaraj flag sufficiently popular, and it was in use till 1931, when the Congress Working Committee made some changes to the flag's design by replacing the red with saffron and changed the order of the colors with saffron on top, followed by white and then green. The charkha was placed on the white band in the middle. Post-independence, a national flag committee chaired by President Sri Babu Rajendra Prasad replaced the charkha with Ashok Chakra, and the present national flag was adopted on 22nd July 1947. Sri Pingali Venkayya breathed his last on July 4, 1963 and was posthumously honored with a postage stamp in 2009 for his contribution to the country's freedom struggle. I think perhaps the government of India is now thinking to award Bharat Ratna on Pingali Venkayya, the great freedom fighter. In 2016, the Urban Development Minister, Sri Venkayya Naidu, renamed the All India Radio Station Vijayawada after Sri Venkayya and unveiled his statue on its premises. March 2021 marked the completion of 100 years of her particular path. Sri Venkayya will always remain in the hearts of the people for immense contribution to his design for the national flag. It is a befitting tribute to Sri Pingali Venkayya that our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has launched the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign to further elevate the patriotic fervor among the people across the country as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The celebrations, by encouraging the people to bring the Tiranga home and hoist it from 13th August to 15th August, marking 75th year of independence of India's independence, and to portray the patriotism and unity of the entire country. I would like to tell you that what is the object of hoisting this Tiranga from 13th to 15th at all the housetop of every house. It is the attempt of the Honorable Prime Minister to rise the sense of patriotism throughout the country and in the hearts of the people. And therefore, the freedom fighters and the fighters who have fought for the independence of this country in different places are now being honored. His objective is that by this the entire nation must feel proud that it has a glorious past. It fought for the independence for long years under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhiji, and it achieved independence. And recently I had also joined a meeting where the Prime Minister has come for celebrating the birth anniversary of Miss Aluri Sitaram Raju. And it is not only Aluri Sitaram Raju, or not only Pingali Venkayya, all over the country, in different provinces, where people have fought for the freedom of the country, their nation, they are being honored. Recently, as you know, that the hologram statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose has been inaugurated by the Prime Minister with a promise that a big statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the great hero of the nation, will be installed at India Gate. And with this, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who said that give me blood, I will give you freedom. And there are just a tremor all over the country, starting from Himalayan to Kanyakumari. And he said there is no power in the world which can keep India under bondage of the Britishers for long. We must be free. And he is that man who started that war from outside the country. When Gandhiji in 1942, 9th August give a call to the entire nation and ask the Britishers to quit India. There are people also who ridicule that this naked puppet is asking the British, a big power of the world, to quit India. But they did not know the confidence inside Mahatma Gandhi. They did not know that how the people of the country will respond to the call of Mahatma Gandhi. And when lots of people of this country, the freedom fighters, joined voice with Mahatma Gandhi and said that quit India. There is a uproarious all over the country, and people leaving their heart and home rushed to the street. Mahatma Gandhi ki jai, Bharat Mata ki jai. And like this, with the South, with the carried by the British bullets, they fought for the country. Many sacrifices have been made. And I have mentioned that I have written that Mahasangram ki Mahanayak, which has been played here some days back. In that I have also written about the freedom fight, which we said many years back in 1817 under the commandership of Bakshi Lavando. That is, the Britishers said that is fight a rebellion. It is not fight a rebellion, they fight a revolution. The bloody battles have been fought in different places for long 8 years. And when the Prime Minister saw, he was surprised that there was such a battle, and for 8 years. And who are the fighters of the common people? The farmers. And they are the foot soldiers, they fought this war under the leadership of that great man. That he directed for the bicentenary celebration of Tiger Rebellion. So the entire attempt of the Honorable Prime Minister in this year, Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav, every organization, every person of this country must feel how sacrifices have been made for the country by different people, by different organizations, and make sacrifice. India is standing under the tricolor flag, which is the symbol of pride, with the symbol of unity, say that we are Indians. India is the largest democracy in the world. And India is now such a power in the economic field and in the matter of defense, and in every sphere that now no decision can be taken without India. And many things have happened. And unless Prime Minister has taken such a stand that both the groups, as you know, I don't like to mention about it, they refrain from military and they want the support of India. And independent stand is being taken by the Prime Minister. And this Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav is being observed to rouse the entire nation. We are Indians. We are standing under this tricolor flag. And for India, any sort of sacrifice can be made. And the young people, you remember about the call of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, give me blood, I will give you freedom. There is uproarious scene throughout the country. So today I pay my great regard to Mr. Pingali Venkayya, who has made such sacrifice, and the designer of this tricolor flag. So now, be united, be proud for our country, be proud for our Tiranga, and my great appeal to the people of my brothers and sisters of Andhra Pradesh to hoist tricolor flag with all pride in every house. And I think it will be done because because we large number of 1 crore or something, some lakhs flags are being distributed to the government of Andhra Pradesh. Therefore, and ultimately, I must thank Sahitya Akademi to take such a step, to take such a task, and having meetings, and has tried itself to arouse the country and the sense of patriotism in the hearts of the people. Thank you all. Joy.